respected ladies and respected handful of gentlemen. Handful of gentlemen, I think it strikes me as a very good idea as a title for any film. Handful of gentlemen, or a handful of men. That strikes me now, right now on the days. So you are only inspiring me to give the title for my film. Thank you. I think you all want me to undergo a test. எனக்கு பரீட்சை வச்சு அதில் நான் பாஸ் பண்ணுறேனான்னு பார்க்கணுன்னு பார்க்குறீங்க. ஓகே, unfortunately, for me, the question paper was out. It's like TNPSC test paper, it was out. I got the question paper from a male source for a hefty bribe. That is Mr. Krishna. Sitting on the dais, I was terribly frightened. Of course, I could not face the music of one woman in my house, and I am going to face the music of so many people here, especially ladies. But all in lighter vein I am telling you, because this is a moment in which we will have to speak in lighter vein. Don't take anything whatever I say seriously. Of course, though I am supposed to be a serious man, I am always very strong in humor at the same time. Of course, my films would suggest that I am a humorist also. It gives me a very great opportunity to be here in the midst of such enlightening ladies and some of the gentlemen here. I was very particular that the question paper should be out, because I can't say a few things extempore, because my age being what it is right now, because I am short of memory these days. Even I forget her name, you know. What is her name? Shailaja. Yes, Shailaja. Likewise, Krishnan has always been with me, and sometimes, what is your name? Krishnan. And Mari stage il irukena.
But I should remind you that he's a very good actor also, other than
I just wanted to put what all I wanted to say in ink. So now shoot the question.
Yes, sir. One of the first things I wanted to ask him on behalf of all the women here, your romances were touching, engrossing and convincing. A rollicking ride of joy, disappointment and self-discovery, which you'll want to devour in one sitting. Have you analyzed what made them interesting, realistic and relatable, a post-analysis?
Interesting, you said interesting. Yes, how it is narrated is important. Linear order or reverse order, keeping you always guessing. That is interesting. And then coming to realism, realistic. Because of your quick identification with the emotion, quick identification of the audience with the emotion is realism. Now, relatability. Most touching of all human emotions is love. You all have a wishful thinking for every situation in which the lovers are placed. That is why relatable.
Thank you, sir. Your movies made us feel like you loved. You loved love and then made it lovable. So do you love love or do you love people?
The literature all over the world over talks about love. Poets always write about love. Always they show it is supreme. In reality, don't we have Taj Mahal, which we always adore and admire because of the base element of love surrounding the immaculate structure. I do love love. I have not been in love. I do love love as it created ample opportunities for visualization and conceptualization in fiction. Secondly, we are always fond of people who have fallen in love.
Thanks, sir. Your films had the sensibility of a sober Tamil dictum. Never overtly erotic, but teasing sensuality, not vulgar yet daring. Let's take the illicit relationship in Sindhu Bhairavi or the underlying sensuality in films like Apurva Ragangal, where a young man desires an older woman. How do you maintain that balance, never get carried away as a filmmaker when you say these things?
Yes. Whether the woman is older to him, as in Apurva Ragangal, or the man whom she adores is married, as in Sindhu Bhairavi, that does not make any difference as far as the word love is concerned. Because first to see the person and get attracted towards him, and then you are not questioning what he is. Is he married? No. You just to see him, you fall for him. Or talk to him or fall for him. So that does not matter at all. But I object to the word illicit relationship in Sindhu Bhairavi. I am so sorry you have used that word illicit relationship. It is not illicit. It is unison. It is platonic. First, the adoration starts. It is not mere infatuation in both cases, Apurva Ragangal or Sindhu Bhairavi. I think you will agree with me. It was the canvas that was exciting for me. I wanted to thrash it out in detail, leading to a crashing climax. In delineation of such themes, lot of courage is needed. I had it. I took them in the right spirit. I took care to see that I do not infringe against the tenets of the society obtaining then 25 years ago. But today the tenets are changing.
Is romance more of an emotional attraction or a more potential physical attraction?
In any such a real emotional attraction, the physical part of it comes into play, and many a time it slowly takes over and devours love, and the result is apparent.
Are romance and love different? How?
The words are definitely different. The words are definitely different. One is pleasure and the other is happiness. சுகத்துக்கும் சந்தோஷத்துக்கும் உள்ள டிஃபரன்ஸ் தான் அது. வாட் இஸ் சுகம், வாட் இஸ் ஹாப்பினஸ், வாட் இஸ் சந்தோஷம்? சினிமா மாதிரி தான். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஹாஃப் ரொமான்ஸ், செகண்ட் ஹாஃப் அடி தடி, வில்லன், பேரண்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் ஹாப்பி என்டிங். இல்லையா? ஸோ tragedies are only few and far between.
Thank you, sir. Do you think there is a transformation in the expression of intimacy in society today, in our modern society's sexuality, love and eroticism, with the advent of recent technologies like the mobiles and internet?
Yes, definitely. Definitely there is a transformation in the expression of intimacy thanks to mobiles and internet. If we talk about real and real, any romance in reality ends as a short film. But in films, it is 2.5 hours of elaboration.
It is a common quest of all people in love, particularly writers, filmmakers, to translate the emotion of love onto celluloid without repeating and replicating it to boredom. But you've managed a freshness in presenting it very interestingly in all that we've seen. Has it baffled you, particularly as you aged, given your prolific filmmaking and storytelling?
First of all, let me thank you for the compliment. I was always brief but poignant. I am really baffled if I could make a love story in my own pattern for the present day youngsters. At the end of the day, they may try to take classes for me on love.
This letter which you wrote to Gautam Menon sir after watching his Vinay Thandi Varuvaya, I think the closing line went something like, this 80-year-old man pondering on the way back home after watching your film, if he could tell his 75-year-old wife, I love you, and see whether she can still blush, he did, and she did. Son, you have won. Sir's letters to people are very famous. In fact, once I wrote something and he replied back correcting the spelling in it. I cherish it. So his letters are very famous, and many of you will be aware that actually this particular letter was all over the net, and there were printout stuff on the wall where, it was used for the film's publicity. That's how much his criticism is valued. And that he could so poetically convey, it was wonderful. But now what we want to ask you is tell us about love in the 80s bracket.
Now you are referring to what I have written about Mr. Gautam Menon after seeing the film Vinnai Thandi Varuvaya. Of course, I was floored by that gentleman when I saw it was real love. Because nobody has understood love. No, those makers who have been making love stories, they have not understood it. But he was the only person I could found, he has understood what is love. That was love. So I can't but keep writing to him. So I wrote to him. I wrote him in such detail, great detail. But these people have no time to say even the full title. I found everybody was referring to the film as VTV.
Avasara Yugam.
Vinnai Thandi Varuvaya, such a fine title. So people calling it as VTV. Nipatya VTV. UTV Pathmaya VTV Apatmudiyam. Vinnai Thandi Varuvayam Sonna. அதுக்காகவே people வந்து ஒரு வேர்ட்ல வந்து இப்போ டைட்டில் எழுதுறதுக்கு வந்துடுறாங்கப்பா. மிஸ்டர் எக்ஸ் நான் அது இல்லையா? ஏன்னா அவங்களுக்கு டைம் இல்லை, அது ஃபுல்லாக படிக்கிறதுக்கு கூட டைம் இருக்க மாட்டேங்குது. அதனால அப்புறம் அப்படி போயிட்டாங்க. But it is a poetic line, it pains me. Of course, I am very much fond of giving poetic titles to all my films. Achamilla is a poetic title. It pains me. So, romance in 80 brackets. I have already dealt with it in my Gemini Ganesh starrer film Velli Vizha. I think most of you would have seen it or might not have seen it, but I have dealt with the answer is my film. I have dealt with it in Velli Vizha. And again, I can say I have done it in Pudu Pudu Arthangal, the bonding between Saukar Janaki and Purnam Viswanathan, that particular character coming in the end.
Yes. So good. So we're all going to scramble for these two DVDs soon. And another thing I wanted to ask you, is there a difference between the way men love and women love? What do you say?
Yes, there is always a difference. That is, one is feminine love, the other is masculine love.
We expect more.
Keep it this way, no? The man will kill for his wife, your woman will die for her man.
Isn't that beautiful? We heard him say this, and I thought it's such a nice way of conveying. And somebody celebrates womanhood in every movie, and I thought this was so apt. Really wanted everyone to hear this from him only. You worked with Shivaji Ganeshan sir in just one film, sir. Nadigar Tilagonnu nangalla avlo paaraatrom. Why just one film, and what is it you liked about him, sir?
Nanu Nadigar Tilagam Shivaji Ganeshan paaraatrren. But one film I had the nice opportunity of meeting Shivaji for only one film. அது நான் கொடுத்து வச்சேன் அவ்வளவுதான் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சுக்க வேண்டியதுதான். But there is another side of it also, which let me not go into the details. But while making that film, after the film was completed, I thought I was making a Balachandar film with Shivaji Ganeshan. He thought he has made a Shivaji film with Balachandar. That was the difference. But it ended up as neither. But still, I maintain it is one of my best 10 movies. What I learned from Shivaji is his upright dedication. He is a phenomenon as a professional. Latest release of Karna proves it again. He is the only example of what a human face and his personality is capable of conveying. He is the one man. There cannot be another Shivaji.
Thank you, sir. Arangetram, most of you will know this film. In 1971, sir?
72.
72. That was just before your heart attack?
Yeah.
Which he always considers, once while talking, he just 72, pre-attack, post-attack. In fact, I mean, he says his whole life is like that because he took a 6 months break. He had to quit his nicotine addiction and then it became caffeine. I think that's what Krishnan had referred in that writing also.
Yeah.
So in 72, this was contemporary India. He showed a chunk of contemporary India in celluloid. What gave you that courage and conviction to portray such a character? Particular Brahmin class, you dealt with that in the Brahmin class. Is it because you're more comfortable, it's more convenient and less controversial? You're from that to the... Why?
I conceived Arangetram after recuperating from a massive heart attack. My conviction was to be braver after my recuperation. The courage was given by Mrs. YGP sitting here. I have not opened up my mind in respect of any film story to anybody before making a film. But the only time I consulted Mrs. YGP for a friendly advice whether I could do this particular subject as a film as it was controversial. If anybody could blame me for Arangetram, both bouquets and brickbats to go to Mrs. YGP. I meant it as a joke, Mrs. YGP. But this film was a trendsetter for KB and for Tamil cinema. KB's career is in 2 parts, before 1972, after 1972.
Sir was saying, those of you who don't know Arangetram, there he showed this character. You must really pick up the DVD and watch it. It's a fabulous movie where womanhood is shown in a very strong celebratory thing. And while talking to him, I've heard that you've said there's a little of Rashmi in every one of my characters. So tell us about that and the women whom you've loved and admired. Definitely. There must have been a big impact by so many people.
I reverentially loved YGP. Mrs. YGP, I had lot of reverence for her and I loved her.
More. The people who influence your thinking. I'm sure because the first time I met you, I remember you saying like, 60 வயசு 70 வயசுலாம் கணக்கு கிடையாது. Anybody can be a heroine, which is really nice. I mean, so many of us would say, he does not, for him a heroine is not a 20-year-old who can run around trees alone. He can make an 80-year-old absolute heroine material because he is dealing with emotions that way. So, அப்படி இருக்கப்போ நிறைய பேர் ரசிக்கிறேன். அந்த மாதிரி ஒன்று ரெண்டு ரசிச்ச கேரக்டர்ஸ் பேர் சொல்ல வேண்டாம்.
நான் வந்து எண்ட்ல வந்து ஒரு ஷார்ட் பீஸ் இருக்கு. அந்த ஷார்ட் பீஸ்ல
எல்லாம் வந்துடும். And why did you always target the middle class as your strongest audience? Was it நீங்களே பிளான் பண்ணி பண்ணதா?
Right. It is the class from where I have sprouted. I know them, their aspirations, customs, manners, and their idiosyncrasies too. It is an ocean. This middle class is an ocean. All the literature in the world put together have not exploited their emotions till date.
Big, wonderful statement, sir. Thank you. If you had to choose a subject to reflect contemporary society of today, what kind of relationship will you explore? இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிற societyல if we had to, because you've dealt with அவ்வளோ types of relationship, even that குட்டி clipல போடுறப்போ ஒரு டெத்துக்கு அப்புறம் falling in love again and falling out of love from one or continuously loving, இது மாதிரி இன்னைக்கு வந்து என்ன மாதிரி ஒரு relationship will you like to touch? I'm sure you're doing television now. சொல்லணும்னு நினைக்கிறத புதுசா சொல்றேன். அந்த மாதிரி பார்க்கறப்போ what kind of ஒரு relationship? அமுதால எழுதுறேளா அந்த
All
மாதிரி
said and done, Amudala varum. Amudala, so many things are there, no doubt. But anyway, of course, that particular character reflects only my viewpoint. She is absolutely conservative, but at the same time, absolutely dynamic. That is what I am trying to explain through
Amuda.
She is trying to help so many persons, but at the same time she wants to be conservative, married to only one man, the husband of this fellow, but he wants to go away, he wants to have a divorce. She fights for it. She doesn't want to go away from him.
So that's the kind of womanhood of you want to present now.
I am always fond of.
Somewhere on the net I found this.
That does not mean to say that I am right, but I am only fond of.
You're exploring what you think, yeah. Somewhere on the net I found a reference to you saying, relationships make human life meaningful and significant. அந்த மாதிரி ரிலேஷன்ஷிப்னு பேசுறப்போ how important is it in the friendships we share with people? How does it contribute to our
if you are to ask me this question, I will say, in all such relationships, I think you will have to maintain the line of control, the Lakshman Rekha, because these days ladies have their own Lakshman Rekha, the gents have their own Lakshman Rekha, and between two ladies, each one has a different Lakshman Rekha. So all said and done, you are bound by certain restrictions of the society. Unless otherwise you maintain that, you very strictly maintain that balance, I think you will go to dogs. Of course, for you may not agree with me, but still I am a oldster, I can say that point.
There you have another friend observer saying something about him. Oldster and Navamata. Do you think marriage as an institution is breaking down today? Kalyanamgra is it going down?
Yes. Very unfortunate. Of course, I can't, as a responsible person, as a responsible writer, as a responsible director, I cannot say you can dispense with marriage. You can say.
We don't say. We don't say.
Even you don't
each of us will take a
even you don't say. Then how could I say?
It's a question. Get an answer. Then I told you, quick gun question. Padar you'll talk. I always wanted to padar ask you.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm being personal. Have there been any women in your life?
Yes. You are being personal.
I thought I could get away with that in the podium. What does Rajinikanth mean to you?
Jewel in my crown.
Kamala Hassan?
Smile in my heart.
Kamala Hassan is smile in your heart. What does Tamil cinema mean to you?
My bread.
Tamil television, sir?
Butter.
Stage plays and theatre?
My bread.
What do your characters mean to you?
Children of my imagination.
Beautiful, sir. Is love everlasting?
Yes. As long as the woman still seems beautiful and pretty.
Now what does that mean? You can't get away with one line on this one. I don't know about what happens when we become 70 and 80.
I don't know. It's a rapid fire question.
I'm trying different tricks to know more about what you think.
When you are in one sentence, I give the reply in one sentence. The matter is over.
We'll catch you after that. Is romance the first casualty in marriage?
Yes. Most of the time. When it dies, the couple looks comfort and more understanding elsewhere.
Define acting.
Define?
Acting.
It's an emotion.
Your advice to lovers, sir?
Huh?
One simple advice to lovers?
Simple advice to love and lovers. Huh? Make a suitable selection.
Do you understand homosexual love?
I definitely understand, but I cannot comprehend what it is.
You wanted to say something also.
Sir, among the Mahabharata characters, Draupadi had the most trying experience as a woman. If you were to feature Draupadi in modern contemporary terms, how would you feature her in your film?
If at all I take a film.
Yeah, you must.
Yeah.
I hope I inspire you to do that.
I will be permitted to have my own screenplay, no?
Yes, of course.
Yes, definitely.
That's why we want your opinion.
Yes, Mrs. OGP, thank you. Nobody else can have the courage to ask me this question. And nobody else deserves an answer more than you. I will make Draupadi stronger. She will not depend on any man or God to save her modesty. She will protect herself. In the first place, my Draupadi would not have accepted to marry 5 men. She will rather remain unmarried to fight her own battle. Thirdly, most importantly, she will change her name as Drau and cut him Pati.
I think that shows the whole man there. A message and finishing it with a flourish like that. Thank you so much.